This is the McDonald's Happy Meal Neon Genesis Evangelion Happy Meal figures. The fries, the Big Mac, and I guess there's a Coke or milkshake. And this is the limited edition. This is the original Japanese wrapper. You can see right there, limited edition Evangelion officially licensed. I don't know if you can read that. There you go. Officially licensed Evangelion 2025. McDonald's Project Eva. Man, this set is incredible. It is very difficult to obtain now for a decent price, but thanks to my good buddy Renz, was able to snag one for me on Amazon Japan. Very, very excited for this set. Look at that. Very, very cool box art. You can see right there. The EVA unit, yeah, 02, no, 0102, and is this 00? Or 03. I don't know, we'll have to find out. But yeah, it's the drink, Big Mac, and the fries. Let's get these guys out of this packaging. And here are the McDonald's Neon Genesis Evangelion figures, Happy Meal figures, out of the packaging. And they really look great in their alt modes. And judging from their size, you see how I'm holding them, I think they are 1:1 scale. Like, actual size. The fries, I'm pretty sure this is about, not as much though, but this is about the same size as a large serving of French fries if you buy some at McDonald's here in Manila. The Big Mac looks a little bit bigger. Maybe this is a US portion or Europe, but here in Manila this is like a Burger King sized burger, and McDonald's would be about 75% the size of this thing. So it's a little bit big, but I do like the bigness, how huge this thing is. And finally, the drink. This is, I guess, the milkshake. This is about like a medium-sized drink here in Manila. In other parts of the world, this could just be like a small, regular-sized drink. Okay, so we have the Mcfries, or McDonald's French fries potato unit. Obviously, this is the red Evangelion test unit, which is 02. The unit that's piloted by Asuka Langley Shoryu, I think. And then I guess the most popular one is the purple one, the test unit 01, piloted by Shinji Ikari. And then probably my favorite unit, the test unit 000, which is the orange one, or most of the time it's white. Sometimes it's red, but I remember this to be white and orange. This is the Mcshake 0 unit, test unit. This one is obviously the Big Mac 01, or number 1 unit. So let's, I think we should begin with the Mcshake, because I think this is the easiest one to transform. Starting off with plastic quality, everything feels probably the most premium plastic I've ever seen from Happy Meal or any transforming toy. It is very, very solid. Kind of like the material you would actually see on food grade tumblers. You know, you'd think that you could actually put some food in this thing or a drink, but it is very, very solid. So alt mode, perfect. I'd give, just based on the alt mode alone, each of the figures gets a 10 out of 10, just on the alt mode. But the robot mode is a different story. I'll say it early on, I was a little bit disappointed, but we'll see how the review goes. So let's start with Mcshake, 0, test unit 0. So this piece right here is a parts forming piece. This is removable. This is the shield. Obviously it doesn't look like this on the show. I think it's okay. I like the shape. It has the M right there. You can already see the robot. I was a little disappointed. I mean, yeah, I do understand it is a Happy Meal toy, Happy Meal product. I was kind of hoping we'd get more robot. Let's see how it goes. So you transform it, pull down the legs, and you can already see how thin those legs are. A little bit disappointed with that. I was hoping there'd be more substance to it, but anyway. So you move the legs apart, And he's got a little bit of articulation right there, some hip joint, some knee joint, but that's it. Okay, and then this top part, you move it down and around, fold it up, and it compresses as his backpack. I'd like to clip it on like this so it stays on, but officially you transform it this way. In order to see the robot, you just move the arms down. And the arms do have some articulation. They go in and out because of transformation. They got a ball joint right here for the shoulders, and that's it. There's a peg on the right arm to hold the weapon from the fry. We'll talk about that later. But all three of these Evangelion test units, they have a hole on the left fist, and that's really for the shield. So the shield can be held by all three robots test units, but he works best with the Zero unit by Rei Ayanami. Okay, so yeah, so as far as playability goes, yeah, this is as good as it gets, folks. There's not much you can do. That's why it's a little disappointing. The instructions do say that the head does nod up and down a little bit, but that's it. You can't really. This is the best I could do with this figure in terms of posability. I just pose him with a shield like that, and yeah, that's it. Quality-wise, plastic, great. Just I was expecting more playability in terms of the robot mode. Let's move on to my least favorite of the units, which is the 02 test unit by Asuka. It's great. It's probably the best looking alt mode, in my opinion. I think it's the most solid one, and it even has a removable fry. Like that. Obviously, this is the Spear of Longinus, which actually doubles as a removable fry. So you take that off. You can see right here, very, very solid. It's a nice the signature French fries holder for McDonald's. Very solid in alt mode, but transform it. You want to go ahead and pull down the legs this way. Go ahead and pop out the feet. This armor plating, they just gonna stay up like that. Fold them a little bit back. I'd like to do so. And then again, the thin legs. I mean, I guess, yeah, what do you expect? It's a Happy Meal toy. Same articulation because of transformation, just like that. And then you fold this back part down, and then the arms, they're gonna go ahead and fold out like this. This one, I think, has a lot of articulation for the arms. It's got a swivel right here, hinge right here, and a ball joint on the shoulder right there because of the transformation. And again, you've got the peg right here for the weapon, the spear, which, like I said earlier, you can actually plug the spear here as well. And in the same vein, you can plug the shield right here for this test unit. So nice interchangeable weapons. I do get that, but yeah. There she is, or there is the test unit. The head does wobble up and down. But that's it. This one is probably the most disproportional one out of all the test units. Not the biggest fan of this robot mode. I wish they could have done something with these two poldrons. Maybe made these panels rotate. I don't know. Maybe it's asking too much. It is a Happy Meal toy. That's as close to we'll get to robot mode. As far as posability, yeah, this is the best I could do. It's okay. That's that. And then finally, let's move on to probably my favorite piece out of this 3-pack. It's the Big Mac. Not just because I love Big Macs, but because it's a test unit 01, which is also my favorite Evangelion test unit. And I think this is the most involved with transformation and probably the most playable out of all these three. Okay, first thing you want to do, again, it's a parts forming piece. You take off the top bun. I like that. It's really a burger you can assemble. And the bun will reveal this. For those of you who watch the show, you will know that this is the the ATF, or the Absolute Terror Field. Without trying to give away too much, it's sort of like a force field on the show. Okay, I'll say that, not to spoil anything for those who haven't seen the show or the movie, whatever. So yeah, Absolute Terror Field, you put it right there, you put it right in front of the test unit. It kind of works. The bun acts like a stand, and then you get an AT field. Okay. onto the test unit. This is a little complex to transform. You gotta line up everything, put them back as a burger mode. So you pop up these pieces right here, split them up. Arms are going to split on the back, and then the legs are going to fold down that, rotate by the knee, and then you're going to slide the buns backward, and the legs are the feet are sort of going to drop onto the end of the buns. So like that, they just slide down, and there you go. Fold down the arms. And then these pieces right here, you can do whatever you want with them, but I think the instructions tell you to do it this way or this way. And there you go. I think this is the best looking robot mode, in my opinion. Out of all the three, he's the least covered with all these bits, these shell-forming bits. He's also the least stable. He loves to tip over because he is back heavy. But I do love the head sculpt. It does come out better than these two. I love the silhouette because the arms are a little bit more freer, less kibble. The arms do have the most articulation though. It's got the forward, backward swivel, in and out hinge. You got a swivel hinge wrists. Lots of articulation. You can do so much with this thing. And then the legs, again, have a lot of articulation because of transformation. You got I guess this is a swivel hinge, kick it forward, backward, go do the splits. Knees are on swivels. So yeah, had they given this one a waist swivel, that would have been really, really cool. So he's a lot of fun to pose. I think I do love this the most of all the three. And I think I do a lot more posing on him than the others. So let me see if I can get him into a decent pose. Okay. There we go, the ATF. Okay. So if you're wondering how big these things are, I think they're about Voyager class-sized figures. So if you compare them with a typical Voyager class figure from the Transformers line, yeah, they're like ultra class, not exactly leader class, not big Voyager class figures. They're right about there. So maybe Voyager ultra class figures. Very, very hefty. Head to toe, test unit 01 and 00 stand at about 17 centimeters tall, or about 6 3/4 inches tall. Test unit 02 stands at about 16 centimeters tall, or about 6 5/16 inches tall. Now, if you remember way back in the 80s, if you do, then you're probably my age, specifically 1987, 1988, McDonald's did have their own line of Transformers. They were called the Changeables, I think, at least here in Manila. I remember I was a kid when I got this, me and my brothers. And I think 5 years ago during the pandemic, I did a review of these things, and I was so afraid I had already sold them off. And it would have been a shame if I couldn't show them off with these new Happy Meal Transformers. So happy I still found them in an old bin of G1 toys, and here they are. And they still hold up to this day. I mean, the McDonald's Happy Meal toys back in the 80s, they were really something. Very solid plastic. They really didn't depreciate as much. So, just to refresh those who have not seen my review. So this is the dinosaur, which transforms into like, what, a double cheeseburger. So there you go. I thought that was pretty cute. And the Mcshake, or I guess here in the Philippines, Manila, we call this one Coke. I think it was advertised as Coke. Yep, here you go. Oh man, those were so cool. Yep, 1987. Don't know if you can read that. 1987 McDonald's Corporation, made in China. Yep, pretty cool. All right, let's do the fries first. He was the gunner. Oh man, I love this thing. Okay, fold that up, down. Very simple. They were like GoBots. They kind of remind me of GoBots though. I don't know. Or the Rock Lords, to be more specific. You can't really do much with them in robot mode, but they were cool to transform. Okay. This one is Colonel McCheese, I think, or this was the quarter pounder with cheese. Okay, and then finally General Big Mac. Fold, fold, and then fold. There you go. those are the McDonald's changeables. So we'll let's move them off to the side for now. And just to transform them back into their alt modes, let's begin with Mcshake test unit 00. Okay, put that over there. I'm going to fold up the arms and then tab them onto the back. That, and then the backpack is going to tab, fold over, and then the legs, I'm going to slide up and join the arms. And then finally the shield connects right here, and there you go. Milkshake with Coke. Okay, and then let's do, we'll do Big Mac last, okay? So move Shinji there. Okay, so take the spear, Longines, okay, and then just line up things. Okay, fold, rotate the arms. They should tab in. You'll notice I didn't touch that ball joint because there's aligned properly. It's going to be a pain to just line it back. Okay, and then this bit right here is going to close and tab. Just make sure everything's solid and secured. Okay, go ahead and line up the panels, the armor panels, and then the feet. Fold back up, and then you're going to fold the legs up, and there you go. One last thing, the spear. Slide it. Oh, what's happening? Okay, and there you go. French fries with the French fries. Okay, and then on to Big Mac. Let's do this bun first. It's the most delicate one. You don't want to just invert it. Yeah, this. Okay, so the skewed part is away from the bun. Okay, that there. On to test unit 01. A little bit tricky, but we can do it. So slide the buns back. That. Okay, and then rotate. And then fold up, and then you can connect the buns right there. He's like in a seated position. Okay. It's the most complex transformation, if you ask me. So fold him down. Then you want to go ahead and just fold the arms back. Or I should say fold the arms down because his torso is folded forward. Okay. And then these pieces right here, we're going to fold, rotate, and fold. Okay. And then it's just a matter of lining things up. Tab them in like that. Tab them in. There's a lot of tabbing involved. This is arguably the most complex out of the three to transform. So if you line things up properly, you should be able to form the burger like that. And this part right here should line up here. There's only one way to do it. If you do it the opposite direction, you'll notice that the bun is going to be skewed. It's going to be skewed, like leaning on one side. So there's only one correct way to do it. That's how you do it. And you line up that those notches or pegs right there onto this notch or divot. And then there you go. There's Big Mac with Big Mac. So let's have them all together. Okay. With their counterparts. Okay, and these two burgers right here. If you want to know how big they are in alt mode, they're, like I said, about Voyager class size. Here is the Gamer Edition War for Cybertron Voyager class Ironhide. So yeah, he's about right there. Okay. And so some final thoughts on these McDonald's Evangelion Happy Meal figures or 3-pack set. I think they're severely overpriced right now in the secondary and tertiary markets. I wouldn't pay more than $100 for them shipped. Maybe $80, 80 to $100 shipped. That's what I would give most. And I thought the alt modes, the McDonald's products as French fries, the Mcshake, and the Big Mac, I thought they were pretty good. They look very premium, very, very solid. They're a great display piece if you're a big Happy Meal collector and all that. They look great on the shelf. But the robot modes were a little bit disappointing. I know you can't really expect too much because they're Happy Meal toys, but I was really hoping for more solid robot modes. I mean, I was kind of hoping they were more playable. This one was okay, but the other two were just, they were really quite a nuisance to me. They're very difficult to play with, very difficult to pose and display as robot modes. So yeah, I would say this one should get a 9 out of 10. This one gets an 8, this one gets a 7. So overall, I'd probably give the entire set maybe just an 8, 8.5 out of 10. Not really blown away by it. The alt modes really are the selling point for this set because they're really like Happy Meal novelties. If you're a big Neon Genesis Evangelion fan, you're a hardcore collector and you have to get every single Evangelion product out there down to the candy and all that, sure, it's a great piece to have. It's a great set to have. But if you're the casual Evangelion collector, I think this is a pass. You're probably better off spending that $100 getting model kits from Blockies or YOLO Park. If you're a Happy Meal collector, oh, it's an absolute must-have. If you're just in this for the Happy Meal toys because you have a huge collection, hardcore collection of Happy Meal products, you are going to love this set. So yeah, a little bit disappointed. 8.5 out of 10 is the best I can give this set. Let me know what you guys think of this McDonald's special limited edition Happy Meal set of the Neon Genesis test units 02, 01, and 00. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.